Hi guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about sound. Now, I'm not going to cover extensively on sound design. That's a whole different area and expertise that we're looking into, but more on how we can make small little adjustments when it comes to your sound quality, as well as a little dab into sound effects within Final Cut Pro and within your various video editors. So let's get into it. So as you see here, I've already got pretty much my final cut already done up, and I'm quite happy with what I've gotten here. So I want you to focus a little bit on this part right here, and this is basically step 2 of the 10 tips for online delivery video that I've edited along with you for quite a while now, right? So if you look into this part right here, so let's just play it and have a listen. Let's hope the audio is good enough. So let's pull it up. Okay.
Number 2, familiarize yourself with the delivery platform. Institutions deploy different interfaces: Zoom, Skype, Microsoft Teams, and in the case of PSB Academy, Blackboard.
There you go. So what I want to do is I want some kind of a sound effects to come out when the pictures of Zoom, Skype, Blackboard all comes out. I want something to sort of enhance the sound design of the whole thing. So I'm going to look into some kind of a sound effect that I can use to accompany the music. So what I first need to do is essentially, I need to create some markers to sort of let me know when those sounds should kick in. Now it's quite easy to use markers. Now markers are quite useful when you want to set a certain area where you want to remind yourself that something needs to be done in this area. So all you need to do to set a marker is to click on the clip and then press M. Okay. So for example, I'm going to look into, so this is where Zoom starts, right? So at this area right here, I'm just going to press M. Okay. Again, press M, and there you have it. So if you notice right here, I've just created a marker. Okay. So I'm going to go to the next one. There you go, another M. Okay, and finally another one, another M, and then for Blackboard, another one. Okay, there you go. So I have 4 markers here that tells me this is where all my sound effects need to sort of match exactly when they pop up. Okay, so I'm looking for something a little bit popish, not a music, not something dramatic, but just something that like a bell, right? Sort of like a ting ting. So I'm looking for that kind of a sound effect. So I'm just going to go into my sound panel, which is, again, it's just right next to your title panel. Okay, now I'm going to look for sound effects. So say for example I want to search for some bell. So let's just play around and see. Oh no, that's a little bit too much, isn't it? So maybe a doorbell. There you go. But you see the duration of all this is about 4 seconds long, 3 seconds long. Now keep in mind that all these sound effects are native to your video editors. So in this case, it came with Final Cut Pro. You can also download various sound effects from other websites. Some of it are royalty based, some of them are free. So you need to sort of do your own Google search and build your library from there. So again, back to this. Oh no, this is a bit too much again. So that's not really a doorbell. That's more of like an alarm ring. So maybe I look for something else, a cartoon sound maybe. The good thing is you can do your filters if you were looking for something short. I just want something that is about 1 second long. So maybe all this is what I'm looking for. So there you go. Now something comedic there. So let me try this. There you go. The bubble. Sounds quite interesting, right? So let's say if I want to choose this, I just drag and drop. Okay. And just sort of sync it to. So again, just need to match it to exactly when the markers start. So again, the 1. And then sort of go to the next marker, 2, go to the next marker. Now all I'm doing is copy and pasting on the keyboard, right? And then 3, and then 4. Okay, and now we see how it sounds like.
Zoom, Skype, Microsoft Teams, and in the case of PSB Academy, Blackboard.
Okay, so I think I got one marker wrong here because Teams, yeah, there you go. I think I got the marker wrong with Teams. So what I can do is I just reposition this. No harm, no foul, no damage done.
Zoom, Skype, Microsoft Team, and in the case of PSB Academy, Blackboard.
There you go. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Just something to sort of add some spice into the overall video. So that's on sound effects. Now you can add sound effects into anything that you do. And in most Hollywood films that you watch, in most motion pictures, sound design is a whole another sort of expertise that takes a lifetime to master. So I'm not going to go into that much detail in the video. Neither do I have the expertise, to be honest with you. But a little bit based on a little bit when it comes to improving the sound delivery of your video is very important. So now I'm going to go into the actual sound quality of your footage. So as you look right here, you notice these are the sound wavelengths of your dialogue, right? Of whatever you're saying. In this case, whatever I'm saying. So if I play it, you'll notice all these small little nuances, right? Now this represents the highs and the lows and the volumes of my voice. And like any other, like what's the best way for me to put it? Like a camera sensor, right? If your sensor has a dynamic range between the brightest bright and the darkest dark, your mic also has a dynamic range. In this case, this mic. So it has the ability to pick up very soft voices, but also ability to pick up very loud voices. But the problem is it may not translate very well into the video. So what you want to do is to sort of balance everything out to make sure that the volume of your voice sounds consistent all around. And the way you do that is to sort of add what we call a compressor. Now, what a compressor actually does is that it brings the volume of your voice towards a consistent level. So instead of having very soft peaks and very high loud peaks, what a compressor does is sort of limits that range and makes sure that everything is at a consistent level. Now, to add compressor, all you have to do is, again, click on your clip, go to your effects panel, right, and then you scroll down to audio. Okay. When you click on audio, maybe you just have a search of compressor. There you go. So your compressor effect will be right here. All you need to do is just drag and drop. Okay. So notice how it increases the overall volume of the entire clip. Now, if you notice, some of them are already reaching a point where it's hitting yellow. So you might see some of them right here, that it's already reaching yellow color. So that tells me that the audio is sort of peaking and getting too loud. So what I want to do is just drag it down. You can do it right here, or you can do it in the clip. Click on the audio panel and you can just sort of dial in your number. So in this case, I'll just put 5 dB. And sounds quite good to me right here. So let's just have a listen and see the difference with and without compressor. Okay, so now this is without the compressor effects added.
Whilst most video conferencing functionality are similar, they might differ in the way you operate the little things like adjusting the mic settings, changing the role of an attendee to a moderator.
Okay, so now let's listen again with the compressor.
Video conferencing functionality are similar, they might differ in the way you operate the little things like adjusting the mic settings, changing the role of an attendee to a moderator.
So I'm not too sure if it comes true there with my mic picking up the audio from the speaker directly, but from my ears, it's a vast difference between the originally recorded audio and the ones that I added a compressor in. Okay, so this is something that you might want to look into at the end of your edits, when all of your dialogues or voices has been finalized, and then you want to sort of add that final level boost, or to make sure that everything is sort of normalized and standardized, consistent throughout the entire video. That's when you use compressor. Okay, another tool that I want to talk to you about is a tool called noise gate. Okay, so again, just do a search. Noise gate. Now, every mic, like a camera, has a noise floor. In the context of a camera, the sensor, the ISO, when you increase the ISO, the higher the noise floor becomes. All those small little dots that you see on a camera. When it comes to the mic, it also has a noise floor. the more you boost the volume or the pickup strength of the mic, the more you increase the noise floor of the audio. So that's when you sort of hear all the hissing sound. So the better mics, the more powerful mics, the noise floor is generally lower. The weaker the mic, or the lower the quality of the mic, the noise floor is generally higher. Now, to reduce the noise floor, now it won't reduce it completely, but it will help. There's a tool called noise gate. So again, it's quite simple. Have noise gate and drag and drop. And so you see the difference. I want you to have pay attention to the waves here. Notice how now there are way more gaps in the dialogues, right? So this is before, okay, and this is after. Notice how big the gap was, okay? So let me just continue on, and so there we go. So this is with noise gate, all right? And this is without noise gate. With noise gate, without noise gate, okay? So let's listen to the sound with and without first, yeah? So again, let's remove noise gate and see where we are.
I differ in the way you operate the little things like adjusting the mic settings.
Okay, now let me turn on noise gate and see where we are. Now sometimes, let me pre-warn you, it might distort the audio as well. So it might turn out to be something that is unnecessary that you might want to remove in the end. So let's just have a listen and then we can decide from there.
I differ in the way you operate the little things like adjusting the mic.
So it became even worse in my opinion. So you can do minor tweaks to noise gate by going into the sorry, what is this called again? The inspector panel. I'm sorry, just lost my train of thought there. So go to the inspector panel, look for noise gate, and click on the equalizer symbol here, and then this will show up. So what you can do is, if the threshold was too high, you can sort of reduce the threshold all the way to maybe 45 dB. That will bring back all of the little sounds, okay? So the more you put the threshold, the more it will remove. Okay, so again, maybe at 30 dB or so. Let's see how it sounds like.
It might differ in the way you operate the little things like adjusting the mic settings, changing the role of an attendant.
There you go. Sounds much better. So what noise gate does is that every time the volume or the audio levels goes below a certain level, say for example, minus 20 dB, minus 25 dB, the software sort of shuts off the entire audio and makes it completely silent. Okay, so that's what noise gate does. So it sort of eliminates any possible hissing that might be audible from your audio. Now it might not come across if you're listening from, say for example, an iPad speaker or an iPhone speaker, but if you're listening on very good sort of headphones or very good speakers, every single detail of sound becomes very prominent. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're doing sound production and when you're doing any sort of sound editing. Okay, so that's the three things that I want to talk about when it comes to sound. First of all, it's about sound effects. You can do sort of use sound effects to spice up your entire video. Number two is on using compressor to normalize all your audio and make sure that the volume of your video becomes quite normal and consistent. And thirdly, to reduce the noise floor using noise gate. And all this is all available in all the various editing softwares that you use, be it Final Cut, whether it's Premiere or other software as well. So keep a lookout on these few tools. It will greatly impact and improve on your video quality. Okay, so I'll talk to you again soon in the next video.